Hi. First of all, I want to thank the board for inviting me here today and for your ongoing support of our research. I think Dr. Reynolds told you that my team, which is me, basically, for the last 2 months, because I can't have any grad students here because of the virus. That right now I am in the process of putting up mist nets down at Cherokee Marsh. I had them up at Pheasant Branch, but I wasn't having any luck there, so I am trying another location. And that's why I'm dressed the way I'm dressed, is why I told you that. I have to wear this all day. The mosquitoes are epic. They get so thick on my head net that I can't see sometimes. But mosquitoes are great for the bats if we ever when they show. In support of our application for renewal, Dr. Reynolds has asked me to give you a brief overview of our work here. I think she emailed you a handout, which I'll try to follow. Some of you may be familiar with white nose syndrome, but just quickly, white nose syndrome is caused by a fungus that attacks the bare skin of hibernating bats. It was first detected in caves near Albany, New York in 2006. It seems to have originated in Europe and Asia. The bats there have developed an immunity to it, but it's new to our bats, so it is deadly here. To date, at least 6 million bats have died from white nose syndrome in the United States. How did the fungus get here? It probably came over on somebody's boots or shoes or jacket. It's a tough fungus. It lives on surfaces for a long time and people can spread it without knowing it. I imagine somebody explored a cave in Europe and then he came here and explored a cave here, and that was that. Humans are great transmitters of diseases. We're sort of the original invasive species. Populations of infected bats have declined by as much as 99%. Our long-eared bats, tricolored bats, and little brown bats have been hit the hardest. The fungus travels quickly, and we don't know how to stop it. We've watched it move west, state by state, from New York to Washington. In my own experience, I've been studying little brown bats for 20 years. And where we used to net and tag hundreds of bats a night at the field station, I now see, well, if I'm lucky, in a night, one. How does the fungus kill bats? It grows over their faces. It covers their noses with a film of white spores. That's the name. And it disrupts their hibernation. It irritates them, maybe it impedes their breathing, but whatever it's doing, it rouses them from their torpor. So all winter long, instead of sleeping peacefully as they should, the bats are waking up over and over, jerking awake, gasping for breath, coming up short. Infected bats are often seen flying outside their caves in the middle of the day. They can't rest. They burn up their fat reserves too quickly. They can't last the winter. they starve to death. Their tiny bodies litter the floors of their caves. So, what are we doing to save the bats? Well, my research is we're trying ultraviolet light on the bats when we can find them, but what we really need is a vaccine. But we don't have a vaccine yet. This is not relevant to my report, but when I first read about the novel coronavirus, the theory that it originated in bats, I admit I thought, there's your just revenge. A virus that is new to humans, that will kill only us, but will leave you and every other species alive. Maybe you can recover. Maybe you could thrive. I hear the human race is falling on its face and hasn't very far to go. But every whippoorwill is selling me a bill and telling me it just ain't so. Which, thank goodness, right? That we're not all going to die. I guess I should wrap up. In conclusion, there's still hope for the bats. It's important to remember that. Thanks to you, the bats can continue to hope.